Damn, what the fuck? Oh shit. Damn. Damn, what the fuck? Damn. What up, bitch? What up? What up? What up? Big ass, you a bitch. You ain't no shit, you a big goofy ass. Goofy ass, can't monkey ass. Damn. Big bitch ass. Goofy. Damn. Goofy ass, all that. Yeah, I just stretch his ass in his face with that ear. Big goofy ass. Hey, them niggas goofy as hell, gang. They lame as hell.
Shit ain't about nothing. Tell a nigga upload that jewelry, y'all let fight. Weak ass OTF chain. And I still got my J, nigga. What the fuck going on? Stop playing. Shit ain't about nothing.
Most people think clicking up in the streets automatically means strength, power, and protection. But history has shown over and over again that most alliances built around gang politics eventually crack from the inside. At first, everybody may have the same enemies, the same goals, and the same loyalty toward one another. But once money, pride, jealousy, rumors, losses, and ego get involved, those same relationships start turning toxic. And now what you're hearing about, involving people connected to OTF and O Block, is another reminder that when strong leadership disappears, internal problems begin to surface. Back when King Von was alive, he carried a certain presence. Whether people agreed with his lifestyle or not, you could tell he had influence over the people around him. He was somebody that people listened to. Then you got Lil Durk, who also played a huge role as a bigger figure and provider for a lot of people around him. When you have two strong personalities like that attached to groups of young men, they can sometimes keep situations from spiraling out of control because everybody still respects the hierarchy. People think twice before making emotional decisions because they know there's somebody there that can calm situations down, hold meetings, check egos, or stop things before they go too far. But once those key figures are removed, whether through death, jail, or separation, the structure starts collapsing. Now everybody starts moving off emotion instead of leadership. Smaller disagreements become bigger problems. Rumors get out of hand. Pride takes over. One person feels disrespected. Another person sides with somebody else. And before you know it, the same people who were standing shoulder to shoulder are now looking at each other as enemies. That's one of the dangerous parts about street alliances and gang politics. A lot of these guys are not just associates. They actually hang around each other daily. They know each other's habits. They know where people stay. They know what cars people drive. They know who somebody hangs around, where somebody's family lives, and what spots they frequent. So when internal beef starts happening between groups that were once close, it becomes even more dangerous because the access is already there. That's why situations like this can escalate fast. It's different when two completely separate neighborhoods are into it and barely know each other. But when people once shared meals together, did music together, laughed together, and were around each other consistently, it creates a different level of tension once things go left. People start using inside information against each other. Trust disappears. Paranoia kicks in. Everybody starts wondering who's switched sides, who's talking behind the scenes, or who's plotting. And the sad reality is that these situations rarely end with just arguments. Most of the time somebody ends up hurt, incarcerated, or dead. Then after that, the internet starts choosing sides while the families are left picking up the pieces. A mother loses a son, kids grow up without fathers, brothers stop speaking to each other, friends become permanent enemies. And all of this usually starts over pride, loyalty conflicts, social media pressure, or somebody feeling disrespected. People on the outside sometimes glorify this stuff because they only see the music, the jewelry, the money, and the reputation, but they don't see the stress that comes behind it. Imagine constantly watching your back around people you once trusted. Imagine not knowing if a simple disagreement could turn into violence because emotions are already high. That's not peace. That's pressure. Another thing people need to understand is that when influential figures disappear, younger members often start trying to prove themselves. Without leadership, everybody wants to become the toughest, the most respected, or the most feared. That creates competition inside the circle instead of unity. One person feels overlooked. Another person feels entitled. Another person starts listening to outside influences, and now the environment becomes unstable. This is why having positive leadership matters so much, especially in communities already dealing with violence. Strong leadership can redirect energy. It can stop retaliation. It can remind people what's really important. Even in neighborhoods with problems, one respected voice can sometimes prevent a situation from turning deadly. But when those voices disappear, chaos usually follows. And this situation should also serve as a lesson for young people watching all of this online. Just because a group looks united today doesn't mean it'll stay that way forever. Street alliances are often temporary because they're built around conflict instead of stability. The same people calling each other brothers today can become enemies tomorrow once circumstances change. At the end of the day, the streets don't really produce winners. Even when somebody survives, they usually lose people they love, lose years of freedom, lose opportunities, or lose peace of mind. One bad decision can create years of pain for entire families. And once violence starts between people who were once close, the damage becomes even deeper because betrayal cuts harder than regular beef. That's why the smartest thing anybody can do is distance themselves from environments where loyalty is tied to destruction, because eventually the cycle repeats itself. Somebody goes to jail, somebody dies, somebody retaliates. Families suffer. And years later, everybody looks back wondering if any of it was worth it in the first place.